Last year, I reviewed SpongeBob's Christmas Spectacular special that was in stop motion. However, this time I'm going to be reviewing the special that came out in 2000, which was Christmas Who. This episode as well, most of the characters except Sandy don't understand what Christmas is all about. To which Sandy completely explains SpongeBob about everything what Christmas is all about. And then soon later, SpongeBob goes to the Krusty Krab and tells what Christmas is all about to Squidward, Mr. Krabs, and Patrick. After they write down the list of the things they want for Christmas, they use this machines that can lift the bottles up to the surface, to thinking that Santa might be able to get those, if that's a possibility. Unfortunately, Santa didn't came after a Christmas musical number, and also SpongeBob learned the fact that Squidward didn't make a Christmas list. Which means that everyone is completely disappointed. And Squidward, being the selfish self that he is, decides to make fun of SpongeBob. But SpongeBob gave Squidward a gift for Christmas, and it was a clarinet completely made of wood and something that he actually kind of enjoys. And if he presses a button, there's this added detail, which is actually kind of nice. And this really shows that Squidward has become a jerk and decides to help everyone in the Bikini Bottom by being Santa Claus. However, the downside for that is they had to give away all of his stuff from his house, which is actually kind of sad, but at the same time, he's just trying to make up his mistakes for being a jerk. But he managed to get a letter from Santa thanking him for all the help, and he's been a really good boy this year. Warm regards, Santa Claus. Yeah, and now that Squidward actually saw Santa Claus up in the sky and underwater, or maybe Santa's above the ocean, but at the same time, he could be in the ocean or something, but again, we never saw Santa in underwater in any Christmas special before, so I don't understand how any of this kind of works, but it's either Christmas magic or something, but either way, we saw Squidward looking at Santa up in the sky, and really proves that there was actually a Santa in this universe. Anyway, that's how the special ends. Special isn't better than the other special that I reviewed last year, but it's pretty much equal to the same thing. For one thing, this special pretty much explains on the citizens of the Bikini Bottom doesn't understand what Christmas is other than sandy cheeks. And while the other special just focus on the true meaning of Christmas, since it's been like probably 12 years since this special came out when the next special came out. So to be quite honest, these two Christmas specials are just basically decent for SpongeBob during the Christmas season. The Christmas song, the very first Christmas to me, is a very good song. I mean, sometimes SpongeBob does musical numbers in some of the episodes, and this is one of them. And this is probably one of the songs that's actually done right for a special. I'm looking at you, Atlantis Girl Pantis. So overall, I think that for having the people sing along, because this is the very first Christmas that they ever had at the Bikini Bottom, I think it really works for the show's benefit for having the musical number. Live action bits where Tom Kenny, the voice of SpongeBob, is being Patchy the pirate, and his birds or some sort party. And in my opinion, these sequences are pretty much okay for what they are. I mean, they're only doing this for moments where SpongeBob is doing something special, like going to Atlantis, Truth or Square, despite them being terrible, and all those other things. So, I guess that these are pretty much okay for what they are. I have nothing against Patchy or Pirate in general. In fact, I actually kind of liked them when I was a little kid, but at the same time, they're just there because SpongeBob has a special of something. It's basically the show's gimmick of what they're going to do for special, so they had to have live action bits in these episodes. But they're okay for what they are. And when we get to the point where Santa refuses to come and everyone completely turns on SpongeBob and Patrick, it really shows that they pretty much failed that Santa was unable to come. So it's pretty much obvious that SpongeBob was thinking about way too much. And if Sandy was actually part of SpongeBob's situation, I wonder what she was gonna think of. Because to be quite honest, Sandy didn't even mention that Santa ever came to the Bikini Bottom once. I mean, for where Sandy lives, it probably happened to her because she was on land, but on underwater, not so much. Not that that's the big problem, the special itself. I mean, I can understand that they're trying to have some characters like SpongeBob who never understand what Christmas is all about, trying to get into the meaning since this is probably the first time that the Bikini Bottom had a first Christmas. Probably didn't turn out well since they never understand what happens when Santa completely goes to all over the world. When they think all over the world, they think of everywhere, but only in cities that isn't in the underwater. So I think that this idea of having the yellow characters don't understand what Christmas is all about is probably a good idea for what they're trying to go through. And as for Squirrel completely fixing everything and making up his mistakes of being a jerk, sometimes when they're trying to make Squidward a relatable character, and even though they try way too hard in the new seasons because of the torture porn crap, I think that this moment right here is probably one of the best that he has ever done. Granted, he probably think that it would never happen again, but at the same time he saw Santa and stuff. And the fact that SpongeBob didn't even understand that Squidward was being Santa all along really proves to me that everything went back to normal completely. Even though I do feel bad for Squidward releasing everything in his house in order to save Christmas for the Bikini Bottom. But other than that, these moments right here completely saved the special for me, even if it didn't make it really good. So overall, I really enjoy Christmas Who. So if you enjoy the special from 2012, you might enjoy this special here. I give Christmas Who a 7 out of 10.